Okay, now we have a better sound. Right, so this happens every Wednesday. Computers are just weird. So, bear with me a second. There's always something that crashes on me. Yep, no, it's not working. We'll just do it as we are for the time being. Right, it's over there. God, I've got many bloody thingies. What's going on here? Let me transition this over. So I need the live chat. Where's that gone? Richard, talking the football. Yes, England is playing tonight, so I am expecting it to be a quiet one. Why are we getting no sound from here? Microphone, mail, tech, audio. Right, there we go. So, right, done that. Change this back to what it was originally. That one. Okay, we're good. Right, so the voice meter banana crashed, which is what I use for piping audio between different programs and things. So luckily that's all good now. Flash failed. Okay, it's just burning OpenSense to a disk. Right, so this is going to be probably a longish one. There's a lot to go on about today. We grab Obsidian, where are we? So, welcome back. This is where I go over every Wednesday, what's been happening over the last week. So we'll just dive into it since I started having technical problems. I literally just dived in, switched everything on, and it didn't work as usual. So, we've got a few things to look at. Vulnerabilities with Twilio, Citrix, WordPress, as usual. It wouldn't be a vulnerability or cyber news thing if we didn't cover WordPress plugins, would it? With MongoDB, OpenStack, plus more. So I'm just going to dive in and start looking at them. So the first one is hackers have abused the Twilio API to verify phone numbers used for MFA. Now this is kind of an interesting one. So Reese, hi Reese, how you doing? So we've got an unauthenticated endpoint vulnerability allowed threat actors to identify phone numbers associated with any RFI accounts, which was identified, and the endpoint has been secured to prevent unauthorized access. If you're running this on Android or iOS, you just need to update the application to patch this vulnerability. This is from a news article. No evidence suggests the attackers gained access to internal systems or other sensitive data, but as a precaution, it's crucial to implement additional security measures to mitigate potential phishing attacks for phone numbers and things. So an unauthenticated endpoint in Twilio's RFI app. So if you're running RFI on iOS or Android, you need to update it. Well, as I say, it does say no evidence suggests attackers have gained access to any systems or abused it. Let me just find this one. Where is it? I'm good, Reese. How's your laptop? Still working well? Well, obviously you use it by the looks of things. So considering there was no evidence of a breach, the Hacker News posted that millions of phone numbers were exposed. It was about 30 million phone numbers exposed through RFI's account. So a cloud communication provider Twilio revealed that unidentified threat actors did actually take advantage of an unauthenticated endpoint in RFI to identify data associated with accounts, including users' cell numbers or phone numbers for us in the UK. So it has took steps to secure it. So they've patched their systems and they've made a patch for the app. So, but unfortunately, if you use it, your cell phone number may have been exposed. We have no evidence that the threat actors obtained access to Twilio systems or other sensitive data, it said in July's first security alert. They recommend users upgrade their Android version 25.1.0 or later and version 26.1.0 or later to the latest version. But yeah, 33 million telephone numbers exposed. So even the big companies get breached. Jumping into the next one, we have a bit of mic issues going on. Am I not working properly? Give me a second. Where is it? We should be good. Maybe turn it down a little bit, might be a bit loud. Says it's all working properly. Are we good? Are we still working? So, hi Mark. It's fizzing out a bit. Right, okay. We've got noise suppression on. It shouldn't be fuzzing. How can I do this? So it says we're working fine. Not touched anything on that side. Are we still fuzzy or are we side? So Citrix Netscaler, a vulnerability allows attackers to access sensitive information. So two vulnerabilities affecting its Netscaler console, which could potentially allow attackers to access sensitive information and cause denial of service. We've got two CVEs, 2024-6235 and 2024-6236, which have prompted Citrix to get involved and bring some updates out. So the affected versions are basically 14.1 before 14.1 to 25.53. All the links I'll leave to the forums on this as usual, but they have released updates for it and they are urging customers to upgrade if you're running Netscaler. And we can see various vulnerable versions here. Where's my stuff gone? WordPress plugins. Get off. So hackers target WordPress calendar plugin used by 150,000 sites. Might sound a lot, but for a WordPress plugin, that's actually a really minuscule amount. Hackers are trying to exploit the vulnerability in Modern Events Calendar WordPress plugin. So if you're using Modern Events Calendar WordPress plugin, that's one that you need to update. It's got a CVSS score of 8.8. This was identified on May the 20th by Frederica Barnier. Can you pronounce that? So it has been patched and upgraded. So modern event calendar versions up to and including 7.11 have no checks for file type of the extension in uploaded image files, allowing any file type including risky.php files to be uploaded. You should, if you're hosting WordPress sites and things like that, then you should not allow PHP to run from where files are uploaded to. That's a really bad idea. Let me turn this down a little bit. Which one ran that one? Seems to be going a bit nuts. How's the audio? Is there any update? Are we doing any better? Have we stopped the fuzzing? Or is it still bad? You think I'd get used to doing these by now, wouldn't you? MongoDB Compass. There's vulnerabilities in it. This is quite a bad one, I believe. So CV 2024-6376 has been discovered, potentially exposing systems to code injection attacks. And this one's got a CVSS score of 9.8 out of 10, so not usually about as bad as things get. So if you're running MongoDB Compass, you're going to want to get that updated. We've got version details anyway. So, it's local, but it's easily exploitable without special privilege. Remote code execution and unauthorized access of system resources. I can't see the CV number on here. Oh, yeah, 9.8. So I'll patch that. We have file access flaws in OpenStack. So sorry, it took me a minute to get back together there after a few technical hiccups. So you'll want to patch OpenStack if you're running OpenStack. There's a problem with the OpenStack's QCal2 VMDK image file handling, which can be exposed. So Red Hat have they've assigned a high vulnerability. What is a vulnerability? Looks like. So apply the latest security patches provided by RedStack and OpenStack. So if you're running OpenStack, you'll want to patch that. Blast radius. So this is I've got a funky name. We're still good, yeah. So blast radius is a vulnerability that affects the radius protocol. Radius is very common. You're likely using it. It's used by all sorts of things, websites, routers, all sorts of things. So if you're using it, you'll want to reach out to whatever vendor you're using and check that there's any patches or updates. If you're using it on OpenSense, PFSense, or anything like that, keep an eye out for updates regarding this blast radius vulnerability. Veeam backup. So, new ransomware group exploiting Veeam backup software vulnerability. So this requires local access, I believe. So yeah, it's got a CVSS score of 7.5 to carry out malicious activities. Initial access to the target environment is said to have been facilitated by means of a Fortinet firewall SSL appliance using a dormant account. So they've been running Fortinet. There's been an issue with the FortiGate firewall. Threat actors have gained access to the network, and then they're managing to launch ransomware attacks by obviously attacking the Veeam servers by abusing this. So you'll want to make sure that Veeam's up to date. Most companies will be using Veeam for backup, I imagine. It's very popular with MSPs. LogSign. So if you're using LogSign, this has got remote code execution vulnerabilities in it. CV 2024-5716 and 5717 can be combined to achieve remote unauthenticated code execution. Though that's pretty bad. Let's see the CVSS score. It's going to be 9.8, something like that, I imagine. So, chaining these vulnerabilities, you can bypass authentication via the password reset flow. You can log in as administrator. and you can execute code. So yeah, that's about as bad as things get. So if you're running LogSign, you want to definitely check that out. Cisco. So I mentioned the regression thing on last week's stream. So Cisco have released security advisory regarding the RCE, or denial of service, which has been dubbed regression, which is a SSH bug that dates back to 2006, and there's a reoccurrence of that. It's not the easiest thing in the world to carry out, but some Cisco switches and things are vulnerable to it. So what we'll do, so all the links to the forums will be here, so you can check them out, check if your versions are affected. If it is, check with Cisco for patches. There's a lot of products affected by that. Okay, so WinUI, Microsoft's Patch Tuesday patched 143 flaws on Windows, including 2 actively exploited ones. Microsoft has released 143 patches. 5 out of the flaws are critical, and 136 are related important, and 4 are moderate. In addition to 33 vulnerabilities that have been addressed in the Chromium browser. Do you think OpenSense firewalls have vulnerabilities like we see in Cisco kit? No. To be honest, not at all. So they kind of do exist, and I know that OpenSense, with the recent SSH issues that have been brought up, I know that they're working on doing patches to the current version of it. But SSH shouldn't be exposed to the internet anyway. Even if you're running Cisco kit, it shouldn't be exposed. It should at least be restricted by IP address. But to be honest, we've got Cisco routers and things in the office. I'm in the process of ripping them out and replacing them with OpenSense. So I'm in the process of doing that at the moment. I've kind of been doing that all week, which is why I've not had much time to do things, because I've had to do it out of hours. Some of the kit, I mean, obviously we've got like BT net lease lines, and some of the routers are coming end of life and close to end of patches and things, but that's more of a BT thing than a Cisco thing. So it's BT providing hardware that's not very new. I mean, the thing is, with OpenSense and PFSense and things like that, you tend to have a lot more flexibility over patching. I'd love to be a network engineer. I have routers and firewalls. Be careful what you wish for. Lots of late nights and out of hours and messing around and things like that. I'm replacing some old Cisco kit, not just for us but for some other companies as well. We're replacing it with OpenSense. But it's like anything else. If you're running your own firewall and you're doing your own patches, then yeah, that's easy. If it's a managed service and you're relying on somebody else to do the patches, then how long do they take doing 2 patches? I usually try and wait a couple of weeks unless something is critical. So there's a bunch on there. Yeah, I mean, like Cisco, a lot of the stuff, people buy old Cisco hardware, and once it becomes end of life and has vulnerabilities, Cisco stops supporting it. They're not going to release patches for it. There's plenty of companies that make a living of selling end of life Cisco kit, which is kind of strange because it's end of life. There's no patches for it. You should just put it in the bin, really. Critical remote code execution vulnerability impacts Outlook. This was addressed in Microsoft Patch Tuesday, so I'm not going to jump for it. Yeah. So on July 9th, Microsoft released a patch for CV 2024-38021. So if you've not done your Windows patches this month, it's definitely worth doing, because it's you just click on an email and it can infect you. So this vulnerability does not require authentication, making it really dangerous. What are we up to next? OpenSSH again. This is again down to, it's not the exact regression thing, but it's something of it. I'll leave the links to this, but so this vulnerability tracked as CV 2024-6409. It's got a CVSS score as 7. It's distinct from 2024-6387, which is the regression one that I've just mentioned. And it relates to the case of code execution in the privsep child process due to race condition handling. And it only impacts versions 8.7p1 and 8.8p1 shipped with Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9. So if you are running RHEL 9, you might want to check that out. So I'll leave the links to this post so you can check that out yourself as well. GhostScript vulnerability on Linux. It's GhostScript Mac as well. So GhostScript's a document conversion toolkit widely used on Linux systems and is being exploited in attacks. So if you're running GhostScript, you'll want to go ahead and run the updates for this. So Bleeping Computers reported that. I'm just running over some of these quickly because they're local attacks and it's just a matter of updating your software. I could probably clear most of these things off by saying patch your software and do it now. I mentioned last week an issue with Splunk. There's now a proof of concept release for that, for the local file inclusion. So this vulnerability affects Splunk Enterprise versions below 9.2.2 and 9.1.5 and 9.0.10, but it is on Windows systems. And it's to do with the OS path.join function in Python. So you want to patch this. So it requires Python 3.6 or higher to be running. Mitigation, basically upgrade Splunk. So anything higher than those versions that I've just mentioned. I am trying to power through these as quickly as I can just because of football and things. Another proof of concept, exploit release for HTTP file service or HFS remote code execution vulnerability. This was a high one if I remember right. So the proof of concept's already released, so if you're running HFS, you want to make sure it's up to date. And it affects version 3 before 0.52.10 on Linux, Unix and Mac, which allows remote authenticated users. So it arises due to the HFS uses a shell to execute the DF, so command which attackers can exploit to run commands on the host system. So you'll still want to update even though it does require authentication. And that's kind of done for the vulnerabilities on things, I believe. Is that I just missed? Well, so we'll go over the things people are doing to get you to click on shit. So hackers are exploiting Jenkins script for console crypto mining. This isn't actually a vulnerability, so it wasn't in the vulnerabilities section. It's just misconfiguration of things, which is basically exposing the Vultr script endpoint on Jenkins, so you don't want to do that. It can lead to remote code execution. So I put that down under, well, not under vulnerabilities, because it's not vulnerabilities. People not configuring things properly. Hackers weaponizing shortcut files with 0 days tricks to attack Windows users. I've mentioned these pretty much every week as well. So when you can create desktop shortcuts like .lnk files in Windows, they're email links through phishing emails and things like that. So this was reported by Cybersecurity News. Don't click on links if you're in charge of mail servers. Block people receiving .lnk attachments. I'm going to produce a list of attachments that you can use that should be blocked, such as MSC, for example, for Microsoft config stuff. So ticket heist fraud. You've obviously heard in the news by now that Ticketmaster's been hacked. So Ticketmaster was hacked, and now there's 1 million sites going up that people are registering to try and sell fake tickets where the tickets just don't turn up. But they'll take your money anyway. So when you're buying tickets online, same as anything else, make sure you're actually on the original website. Now, so all these things are going up. I've got another thing on that somewhere. Where is it? I can't see it if I don't. So related, Ticketmaster was hacked. I covered it last week or the week before. Hackers leaked 39,000 print-at-home Ticketmaster tickets for 154 events. So this is an ongoing extortion campaign against Ticketmaster. So the hackers have literally released 39,000 tickets that you can just print yourself, including for like Pearl Jam, Fish, Tate McRae, Foo Fighters. So the ticket's been hacked by a threat actor known as Spider Hunters, who is selling data stolen in the recent data theft from Snowflake accounts. So this is just hackers releasing tickets to allow people to print them themselves, obviously hitting the bottom line at Ticketmaster, but the 2 million extortion demand. And it's 166,000 Taylor Swift ticket barcodes. So just be careful when you're buying things online, especially tickets with Ticketmaster. Watch for phishing emails regarding that. There's a lot of them going around. I'm not going into that one. Fancy a concert? You got some tickets? Yeah, I never get anything for free. Yeah, nobody sent me some, so if they want to, send me some. What else have we got? So, hackers leveraging compiled V8 JavaScript. I'm not going into that because there's not much you can do about that. It's decompiling things written with V8 engine. What else we got? Similar, when you like jQuery is used a lot for website, like website designers and things, like, along with NPM, obviously GitHub and JS Deliver. So there's fake repositories on GitHub that are infected with malware. So there's 68 packages have been linked to the campaign. So yeah, propagating Trojanized versions of jQuery on NPM, GitHub, and JS Deliver in what appears to be complex and persistent. So they just posting them all over there. So if you're looking to download jQuery or anything like that, you need to make sure that you're getting them from the right locations. Web designers are not the best security focused people in all fairness, I find. We've got a new ransomware as a service called Eldorado, which is targeting Windows and Linux systems. So it's ransomware as a service, another ransomware service, so anybody can hire them for A small amount, which they'll start firing phishing emails and things to people. So again, I'm not going into that too much because I do keep saying stop clicking on shit. What else we got? Chrome extensions being distributed as tools. So anything to AI, there's loads of these knocking about. So people are writing Chrome extensions, getting people to install them. Now, the thing with extensions is, you'll notice I have very few installed. We've got uBlock Origin for blocking ads and things, and we've got dark mode, and I have BitLoader, and that's it. If you're installing extensions on the browser, generally a bad idea, especially if you don't know where they're coming from, because of the information that they can access by just reading password fields and things on your forms that you're filling out. I've discussed that before, so again, we'll pretty much skip that one. This is an interesting one. I brought this up because at first when I read this, it was somebody saying Screen Connect being used in hacks and things like that. So I tried to find a better article. So Cybersecurity News has covered it. And hackers are weaponizing Screen Connect remote access, which is similar to TeamViewer. And what they're doing is sending phishing links out or putting links on Google, which are sponsored links. But when you click the link and you go straight to the website, it just triggers a download. And it triggers a download of Screen Connect, which has been weaponized, which is just obviously gives remote access to whoever controls it. Yeah. So I didn't want to go into that too much because it's not a Screen Connect vulnerability. People have been using Screen Connect, VNC, TeamViewer. There's many remote access tools that you can use for free, and it's easier for people to for access to install them on your computer or get you to click on it rather than getting you to click on phishing links if you're just going to click on one of those. Same thing. So again, this is fake bat malware weaponizing AnyDesk, Zoom, Teams, and Chrome. So this is GB Hackers on Security that have done this. So the tools being targeted, we've got 1Password, Advanced System Care, AnyDesk, Bandicam, Blender, all the popular tools. Cisco WebEx, Google Chrome, Inkscape, which is a Linux, Adobe Illustrator type of alternative, Microsoft OneNote, Teams, Notion, OBS Studio. Yeah, exactly this. So I'd like to, hello, my name is John. My name is John Hammond from MSP. Is there any way to root a bud? Yeah. And it doesn't matter. So this one's more like, is this a malware loader? So they injecting things to apps and then trying to provide links to those malicious apps. So if you're installing Google Chrome, for example, it's been modified, versions of 1Password and things like that. So it's a little bit different to the Screen Connect issue, which is just getting people to download it. This is actually modifying these types of applications and then putting sponsored ads on Google. So when you search for them, they come up first, and then you download one of these applications actually got malware in it. So I say that every week as well. If you're downloading stuff from Google, don't use the sponsored ads for it and find the official website. Didn't come out of that one. Let me go into this. Let's cover some breaches. So we've gone through them. It was a pretty quick walkthrough considering how many I had on the list. So apparently 9.4 gigabytes of Twitter data has been leaked online with over 200 million records exposed. So some of these breach reports I've not read. I've read a lot of the vulnerability stuff, but not the breach reports. I've just collected them. So research at Cyberpress discovered a 9.4 gig leaked Twitter user data. Just said that from the title. So this leaked user data includes email addresses, names, Twitter account details, leaving users vulnerable to phishing attacks, identity theft, social engineering schemes. The database was first reported on a well-known hacking forum. I know what that forum is. Where username Michupa created a new account on July the 7th to release massive Twitter database. It's divided into 10 files, each containing 1 gigabyte of data, and is publicly available for download. So the Cyberpress team has verified the accuracy of the email addresses for several of the listed Twitter profiles. They've not, the complete data set has not yet been confirmed. They don't know the date of the data breach, but it's believed to have occurred recently. So you can see these was uploaded on 7th of July. So that's this week. It's on 7-zip chunked files. So in response to this leak, the Cyberpress team strongly advises users and organisations take immediate action to protect their accounts and data, including changing passwords and enabling two-factor authentication. Yeah, if you've not got two-factor authentication, it's like the simplest thing that you can do to help mitigate issues, and people just don't do it. So apparently, they've informed Twitter, but they're waiting a response. Probably, being that recent, they won't have got a response yet because they'll be investigating it, so they don't just, they've not really got much information on it to go off. But that's a pretty massive database. I've already mentioned Twilio Orphan, and that was 33 million records exposed, and Twilio's a massive company. Microsoft is up on the data breaches. Microsoft employees data exposed via third-party data breach. So this is not new. I've covered it a few times that Microsoft has been hacked and brought up information on it as most come to light. But apparently, information of over 2,000 employees. Website on here, cybersecurity news. So the Cyberpress research team has uncovered a data leak containing personal and professional details of 2,073 Microsoft employees. Apparently, through a breach of a third-party vendor. And we can see the hacking forum where this has been released. So it's posted on underground forums by 888, who claimed it originated from a third-party breach in July of 2024. So July 2024. So apparently this data includes full names, job titles, email addresses and verification status, direct and corporate phone numbers, team affiliations, LinkedIn profiles, company website details, and geographic information. This is apparently a screenshot of the data that's been exposed. Which, yeah, so C-level executive directors, vice presidents, finance. So yeah, that's pretty bad. A Microsoft breach like that. We'll wait for more information on that and keep an eye on it, because that's obviously very new. Who else has been breached? There's loads. Fujitsu. Cyber attack on customers' personal information exposed. So, we know you work for Bill. We're coming for you. Expect us. Excuse me. So Fujitsu has disclosed the results of an investigation into a cyber attack that potentially exposed customer personal information. It was exposed March the 15th, and as always, was caused by a sophisticated malware that infiltrated the company's network in Japan. I used to work for Fujitsu back in the day. So Fujitsu initially detected malware on their computers through an internal investigation. So the internal network's been exposed. Found malware on the computers, disconnected them from the network, and then started investigating. As always, employed advanced techniques. This employed advanced techniques is usually followed by state-sponsored actor. So the compromised computers are not involved in managing the cloud services, and no evidence was found. Fujitsu is a huge ass company, a computer company. Fujitsu's analysis of communication and operation logs indicated that commands to copy files were executed. So yeah, that data's gone. Bye bye. Fujitsu does SC work for the UK, right? Ministry of Defence. Yeah, they do. Yeah, so I worked back at Fujitsu a long time ago. I can't think how long ago that was. And yeah, they do a lot of work for government and things. In fact, if you go walk around the data centers and things, you have to sign official secrets acts and stuff like that. So I was at ICL before Fujitsu bought it out. Roblox data breach. So Roblox has been breached, email and IP address details exposed. Yeah, you know you're going to get loads of phishing emails if you play Roblox. This is where games and things, you're better off creating an email address for it, and then you can always change it and then just trash that email address. But yeah, email addresses, IP addresses. The tweet went viral from the Roblox community. I bet it did. Roblox they've got a massive community. So our cybersecurity expert urged users to change their passwords and enable. This is the same response to every article. You don't need to change your password if your email's been out there, but you should have two-factor authentication on anyway. Make sure you're not using a password that you've used anywhere else, because if it's been exposed somewhere else and someone has your email address and now you have a Roblox account, then that account's exposed as well, and everywhere else where you use the same password. But there's some massive companies in the news this week that have been hacked. That's literally Twitter, Twilio, Microsoft, Fujitsu, Roblox, and they're not getting any smaller. TeamViewer discloses investigation update following a cyber attack. I've mentioned that TeamViewer had been hacked last week. So the company's concluded, this is the same response that they made beforehand, confirming that the breach was contained to its internal corporate IT environment. Sorry. Yeah, it wasn't alarming, it was contained to its internal corporate IT environment. That's an alarming statement. So, was that employee emails and things like that? It was a TeamViewer employee that's fell for phishing or something like that. So, I'll just run personal stuff. Fills everyone with confidence, I'm sure. Yeah. That's just an amazing comment. The company has concluded the main incident response and investigation phase, confirming that the breach was contained to its internal corporate IT environment. I mean, so yeah, nothing major there. So 8 days after the initial detection, so this is what we mentioned last week, TeamViewer, in collaboration with cybersecurity experts from Microsoft, so the cloud platforms haven't been affected, or they're saying. That's that even made me check that we've got customers, TeamViewer on customers' PCs to remove it. Some people do have admin access on their own PCs to do some home users and things, and we just use a tool to remove it all. We used to use TeamViewer, and then we switched to something else. And then it's just a matter of making sure you don't have it on your network, to be honest. Even though they're saying that the cloud instance has not been exposed, so access to customers' machines. TeamViewer say works like Screen Connect. You install it on your machine and then anyone can access it, but if you set up unattended access, but you don't know what information these employees have had on the computers and what they've got. So TeamViewer detected irregularity in the corporate environment. So they've called somebody in to help. It was contained within the corporate IT environment. What a funny place to contain attacks. So no product environment or customer data, but if you're running TeamViewer, I'd be careful of having it running unattended access and things on machines. Just be aware of that. So computer manufacturers Zotac exposed customers' RMA info technical search. It's just breaches. When I started doing this, it was like, I figured it'd take me 10 minutes to cover them all, and the amount of breaches I cover each week is just going up and up. So Zotac, I've not actually heard of them, so they're known for its range of compact and mini PCs and high performance graphics cards, motherboards, and I've never heard of them. So has misconfigured the web folders that hold RMA data. So just S3 buckets exposed, resulting in them being indexed by search engines. This is typically a result of inadequate permissions, no permissions here, and lack of tags or robots.txt. So yeah, the robots.txt probably would have helped Google search for it, because Google does honour it as such, but there's plenty of search engines and crawlers down there that pay no attention to robots.txt, so it would have got exposed somewhere. And they're coming from zotacusa.com. Reveal personal information such as invoices, addresses, request details, and contact information. That's all you need for a proper phishing attack. You're a computer manufacturer. You're not security crap, and now this information's out there, and anybody can pose as you. They've got the customer details, they've got the invoice details, got the RMA request details, and all the contact information. That just makes a very easy phishing campaign. That's social engineering, whichever, and you can see the Google shots of it here. Well, Games Nexus, with the help of a viewer, we've discovered a major breach of privacy at a hardware vendor whereby GM was able to download customers' personal information, addresses, phone numbers, business-to-business invoices, orders. The company's not replied. Not much you can do about that. It's out there. Have we got any more small ones that we can cover? NSA. 1.4 gig of NSA data leaked. Phone numbers, email addresses, and more classified data exposed online. So researchers from Cyberpress, who reported a massive Twitter data leak today, found another data leak online. So we just mentioned the Twitter one, and this time 1.4 gig of data, and it was the NSA. Full names, email addresses, office numbers, personal cell numbers, and there's a screenshot of the data that was leaked. So it includes an extensive collection of email addresses belonging to government officials from various entities, such as the government, military, and Pentagon. So at least we've covered some small data breaches, some small companies this week. Oof, oh, no way you can put it, is there, other than that. NSA data breach, that's something you don't expect to read every day. So, access method remains unknown. They've reached out to the NSA, currently waiting a response. So, tune in next week, we'll find more on about these breaches. Right, so we're just down to randomish things here. This just reminds me of something. So the hacker news. Google adds pass keys to advanced protection program for high-risk users. So that's a notable mention. This is where you needed a physical security key for the advanced protection program, but now you can use passkeys to secure the accounts. They are phishing resistant, things like that. We've discussed passkeys in the past. I'm going to cover some more videos on it actually. While we're on that, discontinued, is it? There we go. So just to stay with Google, I mean, they like killing things off. This literally just popped up on my phone a minute ago. So starting the 20th of June 2024, the VPN by Google One will be killed. There's a website. What is it? It's always an interesting one to look at. Google Graveyard. So killedbygoogle.com. Google's killed a lot of products over the time. Jamboard VPN killed 21 days ago. And it was a virtual private network service. It was over 3 years old and they killed it off. They killed Google Podcasts 3 months ago. That was almost 6 years old. I used to use that and it weren't that a bad app. Google Domains, they killed that off so you can't register domains with Google. Google Optimize. All the stuff they've killed off over the years. This is always interesting. I forget some of the things that Google used to do. YouTube Originals was killed over a year ago. Reddit. Woof, that's a lot of stuff. It really is. Google Hangouts. Google Surveys. Google My Business app. They've killed a lot of products. But Google Duo, if you remember that, it was a video calling app type of thing. they have killed a lot of things. AngularJS, Google Toolbar, that was nice to go anyway. There's a lot of things that Google have killed over the years. This website is just, let me put it in here. KilledByGoogle.com. And you know, it's Google Graveyard, obviously it's why it's got all the gravestones here. Yeah, there's a crisis map. All these products that they've killed. Look at it, there's literally loads of them. I mean, Google are fun of creating services, and some of them, like I said, Google on 5, 6, 7 years, and then they've killed them. Yeah, so the most recent one being Google VPN, which they've literally just killed. And with that, so as VPN alternatives, as part of its phone plans, GoogleFi. So other Android devices, Pixel 8 things include VPNs built into them. So delete your VPN profile. Dark web report integration with results about you. So Google, the dark web report will become available to all users with a consumer Google account. Dark web report is integrated with results about you as combined solution to help users protect their presence online. The results about you feature that helps you find out if your personal contact info, like your home address, phone or email address, shows up in search results. So starting from late July 2024, dark web will no longer require a Google One membership. So the release is free. So what's the difference is, both Dark Web Report and Results About You are features that help you understand and protect your online presence. Dark Web Report is a feature that helps you monitor if your personal information such as name, address, phone number, email is found on data breaches covered on the dark web. So yeah, it's pretty much available to anyone with a consumer Google account. So that's something to have a look at. What else we got? Avast. So I don't really rank the antivirus software or anything, but fair play for them to doing this. So they've released the decryptor for .NET for DoNext ransomware, and it's free and past variants of it. So if you've been infected by it and you've still got your data, chances are you won't have by now. But they've figured out a vulnerability in the encryption and the cryptography stuff, and they've released is this just happening? 1 second. Come on, knock it off. Yeah. Camera's died. Anyway, we'll carry on going through it. This will probably die again. So yeah, if you've still got the data for this, they've released a free tool to decrypt it, which is kind of cool. The last thing I've got that I wanted to mention was actually Notepad. If you're using Windows 11 and you're getting Notepad, it's finally getting a spell check after 41 years. So that's one of the Windows update features coming to Windows 11. They're including a spell check. So So we've got a threat actor claiming 2FA bypass vulnerability in the HackerOne platform. So HackerOne, there's a bug bounty thing. So it's where companies offer bounties for finding vulnerabilities in the product and pay people for discovering them. And that's what HackerOne does. Somebody's apparently found a problem with a way to bypass 2FA on HackerOne. They've not released in a statement yet, but I thought that was kind of novel. So I'll leave a link to this as well. So I've been moving a lot of stuff from OpenSense, from pfSense to OpenSense, and from other routers and stuff to OpenSense. And I know for OpenSense you can set up Let's Encrypt to get free certificates and stuff like that, but I don't actually do it through OpenSense. We do it a different way, and since it's not on the supported list of to get free OpenSSL certificates, you can do it one of two ways. If you're hosting a website, you can use the well-known challenge to automatically get Let's Encrypt one, or you can do DNS updates. Now we do DNS updates. And the video's gone again. I'm just going to leave that. So we do DNS updates. And when we did this, I needed to get the certificates into OpenSense, and we do that with just SSH into them. So I've wrote this script on GitHub. It's available on GitHub. You can grab it yourself. Which, if you want to upload SSL certificates into OpenSense, that'll allow you to do it. It's public. You can use it. Do what you want with it. This bloody thing. So. How long have we been going? We've been going an hour, and the camera's died. It did that last time, and I had to keep switching it off and on. I'm going to have to see what I can do about that. Maybe there's a firmware update for it or something. But I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for everyone that joined, and I'll try and get my shit together by the end of next week, so we're not having any more silly technical issues with cameras and microphones and things. So thanks to everyone that joined. So thanks Mark, thanks Reese, Richard briefly joined in. I appreciate everybody joining. We're back same time next week at 19:30. So yeah, thank you. It was good to cover some of the stuff that we did. Some of the breaches was eye-opening, especially like NSA and Microsoft and things. But yeah, that's it. We're going to catch the rest of the match. Thank you for joining. See you next week.